will show you how to replace the air suspension module on the rear axle of a 7 Series BMW Type E65, E66, and E67. It's very important that you follow the instructions exactly as they are shown. Diagnostic equipment must be used when working on the air suspension system on a 7 Series BMW E65, 66, and 67. The diagnostic equipment is plugged into the vehicle via OBD connector and controls the processes of venting and filling the air suspension system. The ignition key must be removed when working on the air suspension module. Remove the fuses from the control unit. Depending on the vehicle, the fuses are located in different positions. You need tools and equipment provided by the vehicle manufacturer to replace the air suspension module. First, remove the suspension strut from its packaging. Read the assembly instructions. Different air suspension modules are installed on the left and right in this vehicle. Make sure you assign the modules correctly. The enclosed adapter must be used on vehicles with EDC. Before removing the old parts, measure and note down the height of the vehicle from the center of the wheel hub to the lower edge of the wing. Only jack the vehicle up at the specified points. Next, jack up the vehicle and remove the wheels. Check the suspension thoroughly for any damage. Loosen the interior trim on the wheel housing. Unplug the brake pad wear indicator and remove the plug-in connection bracket. Remove the entire interior trim of the wheel housing. Wear suitable protective eyewear when working on compressed air systems. Carefully loosen the compressed air line on the suspension strut until you hear the sound of air escaping. Slowly vent the compressed air completely. Secure the line with a blind plug. Once you have lowered the vehicle, remove the entire trim in the boot. Handle the plastic clips with care. You need to use them again. Remove the sound insulation on the suspension strut tower to gain access to the bolts securing the suspension strut. Loosen and remove the nuts on the suspension strut tower. If the vehicle has EDC, unplug it. Next, dismantle the torque strut on the lower control arm. Loosen and remove the lower bolt securing the suspension strut to the control arm. Caution, this screw must not be used again. Use a tire lever to loosen the suspension strut from the hub carrier. Caution, serious risk of injury. As soon as the suspension strut is removed, the hub carrier will swing up by about 3 centimeters. Lift the suspension strut up and out over the hub carrier. Insert the new suspension strut and attach the nuts at the top of the strut tower. If the vehicle has EDC, route the control unit cable through the hole in the middle of the tower. Once the nuts are in place, tighten them evenly to the manufacturer's specifications. The lower fastening on the suspension strut locks into place by pulling the hub carrier down. Bolt the shock absorber to the hub carrier. Caution: do not tighten the screw. Use a new screw. New parts are supplied to replace the old compressed air connection. Next, unscrew the compressed air connection on the new suspension strut module. Make sure you do not, under any circumstances, remove the plastic plug beforehand. Position the new threaded connection on the compressed air hose. Caution: make sure the conical ring is correctly positioned. The cone must point towards the compressed air line. Bolt the compressed air line to the air suspension module and tighten to the manufacturer's specifications. Never lower the vehicle while the air suspension is depressurized. Replace the fuses in the control unit. Depending on the vehicle, the fuses are located in different positions. Next, use suitable diagnostic equipment to fill the air suspension module. Switch on the ignition during the filling process. Start the process in the menu Fill Rear Left and Rear Air Suspension. Caution: only start the menu points once. Once the compressed air system has been filled, the hose union must be checked for seal integrity. Once seal integrity has been verified, reassemble the interior trim on the wheel housing. Make sure it is positioned correctly. Next, mount the bracket for the brake pad wear indicator plug and connect the contacts. You can now mount the wheels. Make sure you comply with the tightening torques specified by the manufacturer. If the vehicle has EDC, plug the connection in the boot. Then mount the sound absorption on the strut tower before reassembling the entire interior trim in the boot. Lower the vehicle from the lifting equipment to the measurement and 0 point noted at the start. Start the vehicle and run the engine for at least 2 minutes. The vehicle can then be fully lowered from the lifting equipment. All threaded connections loosened during the replacement process must be tightened to the manufacturer's specifications. Finally, bolt the torque strut to the control arm, tighten to the manufacturer's specifications. If a vehicle has been operated with a depressurized air suspension, replacement of the air suspension strut is necessary. Always align the axles after working on suspension parts.
Bilstein. Drive the legend.